Hi there, everybody. Alright, so today we are going to do the second type of rotation. Last time we concentrated on rotations that were in the coordinate plane. For coordinate plane rotations, really all we can do is we can do the 90-degree angle, the 180-degree angle, and the 270-degree angle. We have rules for each of these. Okay? What we're going to be looking at today is how to do rotations where we don't have a special angle. Okay, so you're basically going to learn how to do what I've got drawn here today. This is actually kind of fun, and it's actually not as difficult as it might first appear here. I think you guys will actually kind of enjoy this. It's not too difficult to do. You will need some things in order to do this. You're going to need a ruler, okay, and you're going to need a protractor. Okay. If you guys don't have a protractor yet, you guys need to get one. They're pretty cheap. You can get them at pretty much any office supply store and Target and stuff. So go get yourself a protractor if you don't have one yet. Okay, and you guys are going to learn how to do a rotation like this example that I have drawn here. I will list some steps here for you. You guys can write those down on your note sheet as we work through this activity. Most of this we're going to do in class. There really isn't a homework assignment out of the book that deals with how to do rotations like this. This is something that I'm providing with you guys, kind of separate from what's in the textbook. So you guys will have a homework assignment, a little activity that I'll give you guys to work on in class for this one. All right, first things first, we are going to do a rotation of this triangle. Now let's take a look at this little boomerang object that I have over here. This was a reflection of 140 degrees around the point P of the object that I had drawn there. Okay, so this is my original object over here, and then I rotated it 140 degrees. So what I did is I drew a line from my point P, which is going to be given to you. So you draw a line from point P through A, and then I use the protractor to measure a 140 degree angle. A 140 degree angle, and then I use the ruler to measure a distance from P to A, and then I duplicated that length from P to find A prime on the 140 degree ray. Okay, and that allows me to find A prime. And then I repeated the process to find B prime and C prime and D prime, and then connected the dots to find my new object. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it with this triangle. Now, just so you guys know, this is a little bit easier to do the closer your point P is to your object. It doesn't take up quite as much space. So I'm going to put the point P right, let's just put it here. I like that as a spot. We're going to call that point P. And we are going to do a reflection. So we're going to do the reflection. This is the method that we use when we're doing measurements that are not one of our special angles, so not 90, 180, or 270. So let's do let's do 70 degrees. We'll just pick a random angle. 70 degrees. It's not one of our pretty angles. And we're going to rotate around the point P. Okay? And we're going to do this with the triangle A, B, C. So we're going to do the rotation of 70 degrees of this triangle around this point. Okay? The first thing we're going to do, we are going to take our straight edge and we're going to draw a line from P to A. Okay? And make sure your line is long enough so that you can measure an angle. Okay, so I draw this line. So there's a line from A through P. Take protractor, and we're going to measure a 70 degree angle. So I'm going to line up all of my lines here. I put the bullseye at the point P, line up my black lines and stuff here on the line, and then we're going to measure it out starting with 0, and we're going to go to 70 degrees. So let me get this all lined up. There we go. And we'll count out to 70 degrees. So here's 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So here's 70 degrees right here. Make a little mark there, and then I'm going to draw a line from P through that mark. Okay, so this is a 70 degree angle that I've drawn here. That's the rotation that I need, but I need to figure out where A is going to be. So to do that, I'm going to measure the distance from P to A. So I'm going to grab a ruler here, lay 0 down here, and we'll throw down, oh wow, let's try centimeters instead. So we're going to do from 0 all the way out to A. And I don't have this measured out real pretty, so this is not quite going to be a pretty number. So this is just over 8.5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 8, so 6, 7, 8, hold on. It's right here. So we have just over, it's the first tick past 8.5 centimeters. So I'm going to measure the same distance from P. Alright, and that's going to be this mark right here. So that point, oops, you guys can't see that. Put that back here. So I measured out to just this first mark past 8.5. Marked a point on that line that I drew. Let's make that line nice, or that point nice and bold. That's going to be my point A prime. Okay, and I will repeat the process now for the other points. So you guys can pause whenever you guys need to. I'm going to go ahead and just draw these straight through and just get it done. So here's B, and here's through C. So I'll do B first. So I'm doing a 70-degree angle again. Pause whenever you guys need to. If you guys need to, you guys should be following along on your own sheet, and you guys can duplicate everything that I'm doing here. So here's 70 degrees. Measure the distance, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's that point right there. So that will be B prime. And then we'll do C here. Again at 70 degrees. Okay. Draw that line. Measure that one out. Three in the first tick past the half. Alright, so that's C prime. Alright, so I've got my 3 points. I'm going to connect the dots really quick. And there we go. So I have my original triangle ABC, and then I rotated it 70 degrees to find A prime, B prime, and C prime. Okay, so this angle here will be 70 degrees, this angle here will be 70 degrees, and then this third one here will be 70 degrees. So let me write down some steps here for you guys so you guys can make note of these. So steps. Okay. So your steps for this, so that you guys can do this on your own on the activity sheet that I'm going to provide to you guys. Your first step is you're going to draw a ray. Draw a ray from the point of rotation. Point of rotation through the point you're rotating. So that's going to be like drawing a ray from P, the point P, through the point A. Like I have over here, you guys can't see that. Going from P to A, or P to B, or P to C. Drawing each of those rays. Okay? Do them one at a time. I know I did B and C on my own and everything. I've done this a couple of times to practice already, but do P through A, and then from there you're going to measure the angle, measure and mark the angle, and mark the angle. Remember, you are always going counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. Okay, so when I said I was going to rotate 70 degrees, that means I'm rotating 70 degrees counterclock. Okay? Alright, and then the third step, let me write this someplace where you guys can see it. Yeah, got space here, 3. Your third step is you're going to measure the distance from point of rotation to the rotated point. Okay, so that's measuring the distance from P to A, or P to B, or P to C. Okay, which brings us to our fourth step. And our fourth step is mark angle with measured distance. Okay, and that will allow you guys to connect the dots and create all of your rotations. So let me put this here so you guys can see all 4 steps. So your first 3 steps: draw away from the point, rotations through the point you're rotating, measure and mark the angle, measure the distance from the point of rotation to the rotated point, and then your last step, mark the angle with the measured distance. And that will allow you guys to create rotations that are not equal to those perfect special angles of 90, 180, and 270 degrees. There you guys go. We'll do an activity with this in class. Take notes down. Most of what you guys are going to be doing on your note sheet is really just taking notes on this. I will throw this in here real quick if you guys just want to write this down. If you guys put this in the top corner of your note sheet, we'll just write this: fish. Okay, here you guys go. All right, I'll see you guys in class.